We will be showing you the mating behavior and its rituals. Along with it, we will be covering tigers lying injured in fight for love. Two male tigers fought over a tigress in Tadoba. Surprisingly, little is known about the finer points of tiger reproduction in the wild because there have been a very few long-term breeding studies on tiger mating behaviors in the wild. Tigers are known to occupy large home range, but with forests becoming fragmented and degraded, tiger territories are bound to overlap, and that's when the claws come out. Hello everybody. Today we are in the forest of central India in Tadobandari Tiger Reserve. We are in the peak of the summer season, best known for sighting tigers. Often tigers wanders into the male's territories in search of female tiger. Male tigers will fight if they are attracted to the same breeding female. Fights are rarely to the death and usually consist of a few angry gestures. After this, the losers will normally just depart. But here it seems to be a little messy, with high rate of fatal fight, which we missed to witness a tussle between a tiger called Chota Matka and Rudra. You can see this tiger, which is behind this thickets, is Rudra, badly and brutally injured, lying from past 2 days in one spot. We can't distinctively see the injuries sustained to this tiger as he is behind the thickets, but the condition what we are seeing seems he is badly injured. It's shocking to know even the Chota Matka is also seen recovering from his injuries, lying at the water body few paces away, which is very rare to see in a close proximity. Results of injuries are seen. Territorial disputes are commonly observed in big cat species such as tigers. Tigers are known to occupy large home range, but with forests becoming fragmented and degraded, tiger territories are bound to overlap, and that's when the claws come out. Tigers are solitary by nature, and disputes may often break out between males as they have zero tolerance towards other male using their territories. Yes, this is a Chota Matka, a very famous tiger, a very dominating male tiger from Tadoba, who is famous for his fights. Usually after the fights, the tigers with the slightest of movement or noise are extra vigilant. At last, it woke them up and moved towards the water to cool off. And this tiger, Chota Matka, is constantly gazing in the same direction where the other tiger is lying. Sometime when the territories of two males overlap, one of the males will either retreat or both will fight till one of them submits and runs away, or it's seriously injured as we have witnessed it today. Where tiger density is high, there is greater chances of such battles over the sexual rights on a female. This is a signature face mark of Chota Matka, whose upper lip was torn in a previous fight. That is why he is known to be a notorious tiger, who often wanders into other males' territory in search of female tigers. There are many factors involved in creating a good photo, but there is one key ingredient that often neglected, that is patience. When other tourists and photographers are tired of waiting, and that is your moment in time to take out your creativity in photography. The truth is that your favorite photographs don't return home with great images each time they go out. In reality, only a small percentage of their images will ever see the light of the day. So always remember, the key ingredient to become a great photographer is patience. Now, our morning safari time was getting over, and we had to reach a gate which was quite a distance. We will return again in the afternoon safari with tiger mating and courtship rituals and life of tigers.
We are back again in the afternoon safari in the scorching heat of the central Indian forest. Without any difficulties to spot the tigers, we found both the tigers at the same spot where we had left. Most interestingly, the fights occurs between a male holding territory and a transit male hoping to take over the territory, and the local females. It is necessary for a young adult of both sexes to stake out an area of their own before they can start to breed, whereas females only need territories of about 10 to 15 square kilometers. Male have a range that is about triple that size, or even a more larger area if there is a scarcity of prey. The entire afternoon was spent in one particular place. We could not see the tiger mating fights neither courtship rituals, and even the tigress was missing. And now, after extensive search of 2 days, we got to know the trails of tiger matings, their courtship rituals, and the best part, the sex life of tigers. As we are moving into the other direction and the location, at the moment where we are passing is the highest point in Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, as can be noticed from the landscape. Whenever there is a sighting or the news of sighting of a tiger, you can always see a gypsy circus. As the tiger was on the other side of the thickets, but my instinct told me to come near the water hole where only the male was sitting.
This life of tiger is rarely seen. It takes place deep in the forest, with rare sighting in dense jungles for photographers to witness it. And very less study is done in the wild on tiger mating or tiger courtship rituals at large. If anyone is lucky enough to encounter the mating tigers, be silent and watch quietly. Treat the animal with respect and they will do the same. Tiger detects their mate's location mostly by odor and can identify individually. A tigress in heat or her reproductive cycle will be scented by a nearby male tiger who will follow her scent and find her. While tigers mate, male tiger catches the headscarf of the female's neck to firstly immobilize her while penetrating her, since the process is painful and the female could turn around and slap him, and it also gives him better balance during intercourse. His hold is firm, but I have never seen it led to injuries in the females or in any way gone wrong. Experienced males are experts in doing this compared to the younger males. Tiger mating occurs at any time of the year, although in regions with tropical climates, happens more frequently during the period between November and April, when tiger courtship rituals are more. Male tigers will fight if they are attracted to the same breeding females. Fights are rarely to the death and usually consist of few angry gestures. After this, the losers will normally just depart. As we witnessed, Chota Matka and Rudra were both the tigers lying injured, and later the tiger Chota Matka detected the female tigress's location, and now together in courtship rituals. For tigers, copulation is a painful act since the male's penis has a structure like spikes and a baculum bone in the penis. Although the process is repeated several times during the heat period days, this act itself is a very short because they induce ovulation. And there will be more opportunities for fertilization. It is common for a male to mate with several different females during its lifetime, as long as he is healthy. I feel the expanding human population in India, which have pushed tigers into a small isolated habitats and resulted in some unusual behaviors. But female tigers will only do false mating and that is when a tigress feels threat from another male tiger from attacking her cubs. So this false mating is just to distract him. When I had personally witnessed Maya, a famous tigress in India's Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, abandoned her young cubs. Even park officials were afraid and feared. Soon after, Maya was spotted mating with some roving males, seemingly unconcerned about her 1-year-old cubs. But now, this Maya's behavior is actually evidence of adopting a new, unusual behavior strategy to help ensure her cubs' survival in the form of false mating. These are some pictures of Tigress Maya in April of 2017. And just after the mating period was over, she started looking and calling for the cubs. Even a tiger scientist, Bilal Habib, from Wildlife Institute of India says the crowded condition in Tadoba and other Indian national parks are making that increasingly difficult. The ranges of several roving males frequently overlap with the dominant males, bringing dangers precisely close to vulnerable cubs. Where Bilal also explains, in highly density area where there are more males, the best strategy for a female is to try to leave the cubs early, go with the males and then go back and look for her little again. If she tries to fight with the males, that may be fatal for her and fatal for the cubs as well. When tigers perform a courtship ritual, as seen this beautiful tigress in courtship ritual moving in a circle with a romantic walk and sometime vocalize, and approaches and separate successively in this process of mutual recognition and build trust, which will form a close bond for a few days they are together. And by a quick pack on the cheek with the snout and then wallow on the ground and lies face down, indicating that is ready. Then the tiger gets on the tigress with the knees bent to avoid hurting it with its weight. The former roars and holds the tigress by the neck with its teeth while the female tries to stand. The average frequency of tiger mating is only between 3 to 4 days. Tigers can mate anywhere close to 250 times at a 2 to 3 times per hour on average. And this frequency is only possible because they have a baculum bone in the penis. Yes, it is the ability of the tiger to mate as often as it does that has led to the tiger penis being in much demand and used in soups and liquors as aphrodisiac in Chinese and Southeast Asian cultures, which is just a myth. This one fact has resulted in excessive poaching of the animal and therefore the one of the major reason of tiger population loss. According to the latest population survey, India boasts close to 3,000 tigers, or about 70% of the world's total, nearly a third more than they believe at that time of the last count, which used a less accurate method. That's great, but it also means that the India's 13 tiger reserves are more crowded than we thought. Our country's forest is eaten away by highways, factories and towns. Also, there should be a deep analysis and studies in sex life of tiger. though scientists have a wealth of data from captivity breeding programs. Surprisingly, little is known about the finer points of tiger reproduction in the wild because there have been a very few long-term breeding studies on tiger mating behaviors in the wild. I only hope and pray this tiger mating is a moment when a new dynasty and its legacy will prevail. This is Habib Nasser. Photography is my subject and I'm open to learning.